What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Yes, I got some what ups left in my belly still. I can still get some what ups out. As bad as it's been for my Cowboys, but we still here in the building. It's Brooklyn Beards and Ball Sports Show. We are in the building. The band is back together. We got Big Don holding it down on the West Coast there. We got Coach SKRAPP in the building, all things Philly. Listen, we are in the building today, fellas. We got so much to catch up on. Thank y'all for holding it down with us, watching the shows. All of us, with our schedules and the whole, time zones, it's been a little crazy for us, but we made it our business to be here this morning to give you a live, fiery, popping show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to get into, but before we do that, and before we check on the fellas, we need you to like, we need you to subscribe and share. Go ahead and put this out there on your platforms, wherever you at. It's Brooklyn Beards and Ball Sports Show. We back, we in the building. We talking all things 49ers, Feebles, Cowboys. I know SKRAPP gonna say something. Look, I'm trying to get mine in while I got the opening, all right? Because I might be a little silent for the rest of the show. So I got to get mine in while I'm here. But nevertheless, man, fellas, what's good with y'all, man? It's been a minute. Birthday boy Don in the building, man. What's good?
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, bro.
I appreciate it. Yes. Yesterday was actually my birthday. It was, it was good. I had a good time, low key. Spent time with my wife and kids. So it was great. I had to work, but outside of that, it was a really good birthday. Relaxing, thank God for making it around the sun one more time. SKRAPP had a birthday also in October. We're all pretty interestingly enough, we all are pretty close to birthdays. Rod's is in September, towards the end of September, 21st, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, mine is the 18th and SKRAPP is the 4th. So I think that's why we have a bond.
That's why the chemistry is all good.
But
man.
I think that has nothing to do with what's going to happen on this show, though.
No, not at all.
Be nice about it because happy birthday, man. What's going on?
No, it up.
I don't want to be diplomatic. Right. All of that is out the window. But so it was cool. Thanks for
show. That's all. Nice.
Right. Exactly. Just want to be cordial. Right. Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's popping with you, SKRAPP?
What's good, SKRAPP? Coach SKRAPP in the building. Coach, listen, before you talk, SKRAPP, I want y'all to know, SKRAPP, coach, he just came from a soccer game. He does football, basketball, golf. He does.
Right.
Tennis.
Badminton. and I'm a life coach. And I'm a life coach. I try to help Rod get it together on here, man, because
that is true. He needs it. He really does.
I do. I need you, bro. I need you. I need some sessions for real, man.
Yeah, but everything good, man. I can't complain, man. Waiting on a couple calls, trying to get on the sideline for some school, So
nice.
Fingers still crossed. I put in some more applications, resumes, or whatever. They started checking my references, so hopefully, that means they're going to check with me next. So that's all I'm doing, man. That's all it is, man.
Man. Bro. We believe in God for that, man. Let's go.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bro, for real. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Cool.
Man.
So we got all that out the way. Without further ado, man, let's get into it. Okay, week 7. Week 7 is here. We have some really, really important games going on. I almost don't know where to start. What's up, James? In the building. Our UK affiliate is back.
Oh, that's what's up.
James, it's a big week. It's a big week.
Big week. James is in on big week 7. That's it.
That's it. James, big week. We appreciate you joining us. I'll say this. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we're going to talk about the 49ers. We're going to talk about, of course, Philly. We're also going to talk about Jerry Jones. And, Rod tried to defend him and tried to come up with excuses for Jerry Jones and tried to soften the blow about Jerry Jones. He didn't really mean to, I thought that you were saying that Jerry Jones wasn't serious about threatening those guys' jobs. We're going to talk about that, right?
Did you think? Okay.
Not about the Cowboys being trash.
On them overall,
right?
Okay, but with the guys at 105.3, we can talk about that.
We'll talk about that. But let's start off with the most important game of the week: the San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Niners are favored, which is really interesting. Honestly speaking, they should be. I think that they provide. Purdy has been playing outstanding the way he's been playing. I think the defense. We've had some issues, right? We've had some issues. Thank goodness, Mason, no injury designation, so he should be good to go. Jennings is out, unfortunately, but we do have our full complement. We have Ayuk, we have Debo, we have Persol. He's supposed to be actually making his debut. So I think that we're in a good position to win. Now, the keys to victory. I think that the Niners have to run the ball. They have to stay committed to the ball. And I think that once they do that, that will set up the play action. I think, honestly, all 5-0 teams are not created equal. And this is my personal opinion. And I'm going to make my bold prediction right out the gate. After week 7, there will not be any more undefeated teams. I think that ends. So the 2 undefeated, I believe there's 2 undefeated teams in the Vikings and Kansas City, right?
Kansas what?
Kansas City. But I think that ends this week. I think the 49ers handle business. And I do think that Detroit handles business, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Ultimately, they're going to put immense pressure on Patrick Mahomes, and we know he's the greatest quarterback, arguably. We know that what his record is against the 49ers. We know that, he's owned us. They've beaten us in 2 Super Bowls. But I think this is an important game for us, and I think mentally, once we win this game, I think it will free us to be out the best version of ourselves. What do you guys say?
Go ahead, Rod.
All right. Well, I mean, the Niners are looking good. I mean, offensively, y'all I think overall 2 in the league. And then, the defense is about 11th ranked overall. I think the Chiefs are 9th overall ranked defense. So defensively, you both kind of fall in the range of where in terms of your performance defensively. Chris Jones is going to be a problem. He's going up against the rookie. So you got that rookie right guard, I think it is, who actually been playing well for you guys from what I've done some research on.
Yes. He's top notch.
Well.
He's top notch.
He's top notch.
Yeah, he's top notch. No, he is.
Yeah.
He is. And this will definitely be a test for him. So, because if you remember, Chris Jones had a lot of pressures in the Super Bowl last year. He had Purdy under pressure. So he was a problem there. I think your boy Jennings is out, but I don't know about Purcell and how much of an impact he's going to make. I'm sure he's going to be limited on snaps. And so I'm not sure what you have there. I think this game is going to be won in the trenches. So it's a game. What I'm looking for, it will be between Mason and Hunt, who had 100 yards last week in rushing. He's got 200 yards in scrimmage already since he's been back there playing, and for Pacheco, who's been out. So I think this is what I'm saying. And in this game, to me, and I'll say this, Scrap, and I'm gonna throw it to you.
Okay.
This game really doesn't mean anything to me. I like that it's in San Fran because they get a chance to play them now. You get to host them there, whatever have you, right? I think that's a good thing. It's interesting to see how they're going to play there in San Fran, being Kansas City, that is. But this game is nothing. It's a mid-season game. If you're a 49er fan or a Chief fan, yeah, because I'm gonna tell you why. And I said this, and I've been saying this consistently since last year. If you're a Niner fan, it's Super Bowl or bust. That's it. This doesn't mean anything. Now, yeah, you want to put up a performance because could you have this as a preview for another Super Bowl rematch for the 3rd time? Yeah, maybe psychologically for the Niners to be able to know that they can beat the Chiefs in some type of matchup. Maybe that'll help if they can get a win there. But at the end of the day, out of conference game really means not much other than a little bit of a measuring stick to see where everybody's at. But I still don't think it means much at all because
why are we diminishing? Let me just say this real quick. Why are we just diminishing us playing the reigning Super Bowl champs who happen to be undefeated? See, you're setting it up so when we beat them, like I said, D, it's not an important thing.
But
You
but
said
it wouldn't be. Even if y'all win, it wouldn't be. Still, it
you
wouldn't
said Mahomes. It's Mahomes. As far as quarterbacks, it's Mahomes and everyone else, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm here to tell you that Brock Purdy will play as good, if not better, than Mahomes tomorrow. Okay? I'm talking about head-to-head, and I think that the victory matters. An undefeated team.
How is this victory?
Because it's in the regular season. We need it. It's just the next game. I'm not saying confetti as there's not going to be confetti. We're not getting rings for this victory, but it is important because, and I expect you to say that, because how had the Cowboys fared in their last couple of games? I expect you to say that.
No, it's not that. What I'm trying to let you, I'm gonna let you and James know is that this game, win or lose for the Niners, or for the Chiefs, win or lose, right? I don't think this game is going to have any impact on where the destiny of these teams will be, what they need to continue to do as far as winning their division and still being Super Bowl contenders.
It helps. Again, it helps, though.
Well, I mean,
each victory helps you win your division, right?
A victory is a victory. You gotta win games to get into the playoffs, regardless. No, I get you there. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, it's an alluring matchup because you're talking about a triple matchup now, right? As far as a rematch, if you will, because you done lost them twice in the Super Bowl. This team pretty much has your number, right? Shanahan. If you want to look at some little nuances about this game that you can look at to see, okay, maybe you can get some victory or something that's some importance. But at the end of the day, it's Super Bowl or bust for the Niners. If the Niners win this game, you still got to win. This game does nothing for you at the end of the year when all the chips are on the line.
I understand that.
It's more for y'all than it is for KC because Kansas City's already proven. They already got 3 chips in the bag. They back-to-back champs. We already know Mahomes is all world. So there's no pressure on Kansas. In fact, Kansas City, there's really no pressure on them, even going into this game. 5-0. They take an L. It's an out-of-conference L. Doesn't really, may not hurt them.
What is that? What does the out-of-conference have to do with anything? It's on the schedule. It has a lot
to do with your standings in terms of winning
SKRAPP, am I missing something? What is this out-of-conference?
If you take an L,
are they both NFL teams? Rod, are they both NFL teams? What is this out-of-conference?
They both got the shield on their uniform.
Exactly. What are you talking about? Out-of-conference.
You're going to both act like if your team has to take a loss, wouldn't you want it to be an out-of-conference team?
I wouldn't want them to take a loss.
I don't want to lose at all.
A division team or NFC contender.
That's a Cowboys fan. If you gotta lose, why not lose to an out of conference? No,
but I'm just trying to tell you. But I'll tell you about what the Chiefs. The Chiefs obviously want to win this game, and I think they want to psychologically destroy y'all and make y'all believe that y'all can't beat them. But at the end of the day, there's really no pressure on them. The pressure's on the Niners. It's Super Bowl or bust. Every week y'all play,
and it's not Super Bowl
or bust.
See,
this ain't no Super Bowl bust with Dallas. Not no real Cowboy fans. We understand we ain't going to no Super. We never said
the misconception is that it is Super Bowl or bust only for the Niners. Every team, when they start the season, if they have set their team up for success, right? If they've set their team up for success, unlike the Cowboys, then every team's goal is to win the Super Bowl. Don't make it.
Don't act like. But D, you can't act like that. Yeah, every team goes into the beginning of the season or even into training camp with the idea and the hopes that they'll either be really competitive or it can be a Super Bowl contender.
You don't think Detroit wants that? You don't think that
the Niners,
Green Bay?
Okay, but the Niners have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and Shanahan, and with his record failing in the Super Bowl, Niners been coming up short. Okay, so in the last 3 Super Bowl appearances that the 49ers had, they've come up short. Y'all been competitive. Y'all are in NFC championship games at the minimum just about every year. And so the standard is different for the Niners than it is in any other team. And I agree with James. Yes, losing to Detroit, that's a bad loss. That I would have rather be in Detroit and lost to the Steelers because the Steelers is an out-of-conference game. So if we're going to take an L and we have to swap, it would have been better because for our standings. Anybody would tell you that. Y'all gonna act like y'all don't believe that.
Well, no, I understand when it gets. See the problem with that, and we'll throw it to SKRAPP. The problem with that mentality that an out of conference, you want it to come down to the last week, and then you gotta get a balancing act, and you gotta figure out
what I'm saying.
What week it was out of. I got this many out of conference. We want to dominate the entire season. That's the goal of any smart team. Understanding that it doesn't happen that way, but you're trying to already offset, well, we got this many out of conference losses, but we do good in this. the goal is to win all the games.
All the games. But D, let me ask you something, and then we're gonna throw it to Scrap. And Scrap, I'm sorry, I'm gonna throw it to Scrap.
No.
I'm gonna ask this question. D, okay. Yes, regular season is important, but if you had to choose between a win on Sunday and a win in the Super Bowl, what you gonna take, D? Knowing your standard, knowing what the goal is for the Niners, and
that's a ridiculous analogy.
How was that ridiculous?
A win on Sunday. Who's comparing that into Week 7? Of course, I would always prefer Super Bowl win.
Right. But what I'm trying to tell you, D, is I think you're misunderstanding the importance of, and I think you're doing what you're accusing me of. You're trying to downplay this whole thing that the Niners don't need to win a Super Bowl. Otherwise, there's going to be some real issues.
Absolutely,
I don't know if you do.
No, we do.
Super Bowl
we need regular season win. Week 4 is just as important. Nah. Forget
That's not
week
what I'm
4.
saying.
Niners need to win the Super Bowl, bro. That's what it is for them.
I expect you to say that because you're in third place in your division. We're in first place. So every game matters to us in a division. So how it works, since you haven't really experienced this, let me slow it down for you. You win your division first. You win your, then you represent.
I can tell you, we've beaten up the NFC East quite a bit.
You guys are going back and forth and waffling. Yeah, but it always, with you guys, always comes down to the last 2 weeks, and you need this team to lose. We want to dominate and have it where we lock it up. Maybe we can give some players some rest down the line for the playoff stretch, right? And the goal is ultimately not to play the first weekend. If you can help it, try to get the bye. Try to be as successful as possible. It seems like your team is playing for the bye, right? You like, well, let me see if we can at least squeak in. We don't want to squeak in. And it is important. A Super Bowl, believe me, it has been disheartening to get to the Super Bowl and lose. But we also look at the fact that there has been countless footage, and I'm not coming up with an excuse, countless footage of Nick Bosa being held, refs intervening. This is a fact. This is a fact.
You go ahead.
No. This is a fact.
I can't believe you did. James, don't let him get away with that.
No.
Let him get away with it. I can't believe you made that as an argument.
They can call holding on every play. They can call holding on every play.
And it's funny. So wait a minute, Rod. You've never heard that the Chiefs get preferential treatment from the refs? You haven't heard that at all? So now they won 3 Super Bowls in the last 4 years. I'm not saying I didn't say this.
Of the fact that they get preferential treatment from the refs. Is that what you're implying?
Am I implying that? No. They are a great team. I'm not saying they're a dynasty, but they do get help along the way. That is a fact.
My goodness.
I'm not saying that's the sole reason. I'm not saying that's the sole reason we lost.
The argument was plausible until you said that. Okay. I can't believe you brought that up.
Okay. Well, listen. Because your team never gets that far, right? The expectation and the bar is low. You don't scrutinize the game to the same level because you come into the season expecting to lose. You come into the season counting conference and out of conference wins. I don't. I look at everything, and when it comes down to the final game, I look at the game with the fine-tooth comb. I look at, is it being
and that's what your takeaway is as a fine-tooth comb evaluation, that the refs are the reason?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. And let me start off by saying this is not the reason that we have lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a great coach. They have arguably the greatest quarterback ever. This is not the reason, but it is a contributing factor. And if you don't think that is, I'm sorry, you're not going to change my opinion on that. There are some calls.
So D, we're in week 7. Going into a week 7 game, and you talking about calls from last year's Super Bowl or the Super Bowl before that when y'all played them? I mean, what games are we going back to?
We're not talking. I'm not talking solely Niners.
The Chiefs in general. The Chiefs.
Yes. Okay. Is this? Am I breaking news today, or have you heard this before? Have you seen this with your own eyes?
Just head and shoulders better than everybody because of their coaching and their quarterback. I mean, it's as simple as that. Every team, like Scrap said, holding is on every play. Sometimes the reps are going to call your way, and sometimes they won't. But at the end of the day, they're just a better team with a better quarterback and a better coach. And Spags is a good defensive coordinator. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they just are a better team. And all I'm saying, and Scrap, I'm shutting up right here. This Sunday is about the Niners, but at the same time, because everyone's looking at the Niners. I don't believe there's any pressure on Kansas City because I think they're going to perform. I think they're going to do well. Mahomes is going to light that secondary up like he always does, even without receivers. What did we say last year? Oh, they got no receivers. They dropping balls everywhere. It didn't matter. They didn't matter. The three of us could have lined up in a bunch formation, and we still would have won with Mahomes quarterbacking us because that's just how good they are. They don't even need great receivers to win. So my point is the Niners. If I'm a Niner fan, I'm looking like, okay, we got to try to win this game, psychological purposes. But at the end of the day, we know we got to handle business when it comes to the Super Bowl or bust. That's what it is. It's that or nothing else. And that's all I'm saying. This game really don't have any impact, in my opinion, in terms of the destiny of these teams, where they're going to go. I still think the Niners are coming out of the NFC East. out of the NFC conference, and they'll represent whoever they're going to represent in the Super Bowl, which most likely will be Kansas City. This could very well be another matchup, another playoff game, another Super Bowl.
What you mean? What you mean? The Niners coming out of the NFC? Hold on. What are we, chop liver?
I think the Niners are.
Chop liver over here?
Yeah, y'all are. Of course. Of course. The Eagles.
Are we chop liver?
You think Sirianni? Listen, go ahead, Scrap. You go ahead. It's your floor now. Go ahead, bro.
This game, right? This is how I look at it. I think both of you guys are right. Right, you're right. This game really don't mean nothing to anybody but 49er fans. And Don, you're right. This could be a confidence booster to try to catapult y'all to the next level. But the way I feel about it, Don, even if Purdy outplays Mahomes, y'all still got to win the game because Hurts outplayed Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and it was no green confetti falling from the sky after the game was over. You still got to, the rest of the team still has to show up, and they still have to execute. So with that being said,
right,
I like y'all team better as far as personnel wise, because like Rod just said, Kansas City, all their receivers are no names. They went and dug, Juju up off the scrap heap. They went and dug Kareem Hunt up out of wherever he was at. They got a bunch of, proven players, but I just think that y'all got more, chemistry, continuity. Y'all been together longer over, a longer period of time. Y'all played together. Y'all got more, just experience with each other. And y'all players are better at the positions other than quarterback, position for position. Y'all team is better on paper, but
I would agree with that.
Last year we beat the Chiefs in week 6 or 7, whatever it was, and we didn't even get a Cupid toy for that. We didn't even get no kind of cheap Cracker Jack prize for that. So while I say why both of you, because after we beat the Chiefs, yes, I was ripping my shirt off and everything, and I was excited, and then balloon got popped. So it will be a confidence booster for the Niners, but I also agree with Rod that it really don't mean nothing to anybody but 49er fans. But
let me ask you a question, Scrap. Do you take that approach that Rod has about in conference and out of conference, or do you think that every team that you face in the regular season leading up to the Super Bowl, your goal as a team is to beat them?
Well, I'm the one who predicted us to lose one game, so you pretty much know. I don't. My fault, right?
Okay.
I don't think like this guy. Losers think like losers. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Me. I predict us to lose one game. So,
right. Okay.
It is what it is.
I just wanted to clear the air. We don't go into the season whether it's week 2, week 7, week 14. We don't try to say, oh, this was an acceptable loss because it was out of conference. We don't measure it that way.
I'm just saying. Just go ahead, Scrap. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. No, it's fine. I'm gonna be quick. I just feel like in football there are no acceptable losses, only because it's not baseball and it's not basketball. It's not even hockey. You don't get to come back a night or two later and correct your mistakes or save face. You got to wait a whole week. So you got to turn on Sports Center. You got to hear Stephen A. and all the geniuses say how bad your team sucks. You see what I'm saying? All week long, and they point out every little thing that's wrong with your team, every little just nitpicking. It's under your skin. You got to hear that for a whole week. So no, There are no acceptable losses in football. Now, I mean, if your team is decimated and you got Jahad Dotson and Paris Campbell as your wide receivers, and you get trounced by Tampa Bay, that's acceptable because I mean, what are you supposed to do? But other than that, no, no acceptable losses, man. If you got if your full roster is there, and you expect to win like that, like if you don't expect to win, why are your team even on the field? Like why do we even dress up like this and put the hat on and all that and sit in front of the TV?
Facts. Facts.
I mean, I know you don't expect to win. You just want to see progress every week from your team, but I expect to win. Every time I sit down there and I wake up from my nap, where I could be sleeping because I work overnight, and I get up and I sit there and I watch the game, I'm expecting a W at the end.
Yeah.
And so you know what, Scrap? That's
the goal.
And that's the goal. And you know why y'all can say that? And I'm just being realistic. The Niners, and I said this in the show last week when I talked about the difference between a football team and an industry, which the Cowboys are, right? The Niners and Eagles, y'all make moves, you sign people, you get people in position to win. You got great coaches and your staffs and different things, right? You got good ownership. So it's plausible for y'all to set that bar high. I can't do that because I know Jerry's in the way.
If I'm the Panthers, I still expect to win every game.
Right.
Like,
but that's not being realistic, though. That's not being
who's realistic as a sports fan.
You gotta know your
such
team.
thing as a realistic sports fan. If fans were realistic, the Panthers fans would say, you know what? I know we suck. They'll be playing in an empty stadium every week. No sports fans are realistic unless you're like a Kansas City fan or somebody who's a Yankee fan who just is seeing a million championships. So they're like, whatever. Let them fight over the scrap.
Right. They don't care anymore. They're jaded by their success.
Exactly. They're so successful that it's like second nature to them. Oh, what another championship? Like, throw it over there.
But I don't think diehard fans go into a game though, or go pay to see a game with the expectation of their team winning a Super Bowl. I do think they want to see their team competitive, and because they're a diehard fan, they want to see a good game, maybe some key players, see how they're improving in certain positions, I think, or they're evaluating coaching. I mean, if you're talking about if you're a Carolina Panther fan, that's about all you can possibly do.
For them, but for
them.
For other teams,
but for y'all, in the 49ers,
I don't turn on the game and say, hey, I wonder if Nick Sirianni's going to use his brain today and take a field goal. Oh, man, we didn't win, but, hey, Nick kicked that. No, I expect to win. And if we don't win, I have a problem with that, a major problem with that.
No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And I expect Dallas to win. I think we're a good team to win, but to win, I don't think we're better than the other teams, just realistically speaking, than the other teams that I feel are a little more advanced than us.
You play to win the game.
Like, you play to win. I hope that we can win a game.
And I watch to win the game.
We don't go by hope. We don't go by hope.
But my expectations are managed because I just understand. That's like saying Mike Tyson at his prime. You're not going to expect some dude to come in who an amateur who won a fight at some 13 wins as an amateur, come in and fight Mike Tyson at his height and think he's going to win. Like no, I'm expecting you to win. Like, nah, if you look, we hope you win. You might have a chance, but in all reality, you really don't. But we can at least see how you can improve.
Take those stars off your shoulders, man.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to come in and rip those stars off.
I would grab your star and I would just
I came to the Cowboys. He should come. Mike Evans. Mike Irvin should bust through that door and snatch those stars off your shoulders.
Snatch it like they do in the service. Just snatch the stripe right off your shirt.
Listen, man, because
but we're realistic. You heard what Troy Aikman said this week about the Cowboys.
He was accurate.
Get to Dallas, but he's being realistic. Yeah. He knows.
Listen,
he knows.
The
team is not good. That's
the off season is the time to be realistic. Once the season starts, you got to take your realism, throw it out the window, and get your expectations.
Make improvements.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you still got to manage your expectations.
We haven't passed.
We haven't made improvements. Like go ahead.
Y'all made
improvements. You don't think that you guys honestly it takes Jerry Jones swallowing his pride
because it's definitely not on the field.
No. We're a worse team than we were last year.
You don't think you could have used, for an example,
swallowed
your pride?
That's my point.
No. I'm talking about presently. You could use Amari Cooper for $800,000. Swallow your pride, Jerry Jones.
I said in the last show, Amari Cooper fell into the doghouse with Jerry. That's why Jerry got
He
rid
is
of him.
better than your second receiver.
He
It
is.
doesn't matter about
Jerry
that.
But Jerry don't care about that. He's in a doghouse. So Amari Cooper, he didn't like Amari Cooper. He didn't like him as a person. He didn't care that he didn't get vaccinated.
You don't have to like him as a person. Bird and McHale hated each other. Bird and McHale hated each other.
But they had no. But they're not controlling the roster either. You know what I'm saying? Jerry's controlling the roster.
If Bird would have went and complained and said, "Yo, get him off my team," you think they wouldn't have got McHale out of there?
They most likely would have, but McHale was a good player. But McHale was also a good player in doing stuff that Bird couldn't do in the low post.
So he is. But my point is, he is better, Amari Cooper, for the price. Since Jerry Jones is saying we didn't have cap space, and it's only because he dragged signing Dak and CD that they didn't have the money for Derrick Henry.
Right,
he still has $800,000 to pay. Because
getting a receiver wouldn't have helped Dallas anyway. You have no run game. Like Tolbert isn't bad.
Get what you can get though.
Yeah, exactly.
If the line ain't blocking, Dak's under pressure. What good is Cooper's not gonna move the needle? He's not moving now. Derrick Henry would have moved the needle.
But that ship has sailed though, Rod. My point is,
so
since that ship has sailed, don't get anything. So you think Jerry Jones should just not try? Don't do anything for the rest of this season.
Cooper might not have moved the needle, but he would have moved the chains a few times, and that's what y'all need. Somebody to move them chains.
It wouldn't matter. We have no route running. We have the route tree is horrible. We have a very anemic offense. We're unimaginative, not innovative. Cooper would not have made a difference.
Big possession receiver or something. Like he's like oatmeal is better than no meal, right? Oatmeal is better than no meal.
So I'll say this: your number one receiver has been taken out of games.
Multiple games.
So you don't think an Amari Cooper would help the Cowboys today for the price?
I'm not saying he would not have, but again,
so what are you saying? It's not moving the needle.
We still can't stop the running. You can't. You still got to be able to run the ball.
I understand that, but if there is no running back, don't you have Cooks that you guys have on it somewhere? I don't know.
Jerry won't bring. Cook said, "I'm ready to play. I'm healthy," but they won't bring him up. Every time they act about Cooks, no, not this week, and they get real short. Something is going on with that. I think a lot of fans are speculating something went down. Something happened off the field. I don't know what happened to Cook, but he done fell out of favor with the ownership. So I doubt we even see him this year. They're not even gonna play.
What I'm saying is, why do you still have that jersey on? When did the Cowboys? When do you fall out of favor with the Cowboys? Take that jersey off.
No. Listen, I was a fan before Jerry got there, and I'll be a fan well after Jerry's gone. And I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm just realistic.
But with new information, don't we make educated decisions? Like I used to love whatever, but
Didn't you love the Niners when y'all were bad? When you had bad quarterback play and down through the years and bad running back after your glory years are over in the 90s? In the early 90s, the Niners was trash for a good amount of time before
I don't know about
came in there and brought y'all back. What about the Mike Singletary days? Why didn't you walk away when Mike Singletary was coaching?
Well,
because it wasn't. Now this is the reason. Bad play has nothing to do with bad organization. There is a difference. And
we're not a bad organization.
You're a bad organization.
Yeah, you got.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I would walk away. A bad team is different. You can hang on to a bad team. A bad organization that doesn't care about its fan base and doesn't care about making the eye-popping improvements that would at least work towards it is worth walking away from.
At least show the fan base you're trying.
Take one of them stars off. At least one. Take one of the stars off.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Right. Denounce that team. We're here for the denounce.
The first step is admitting it. The first step.
Yeah, man. That's it.
I can't believe what I just did. No, I can't believe I just did that.
That's the intervention.
The first step is admitting it.
Wait, you see? We had him. We star real quick. He took the star off. See,
I'm really going through. Look at CD Brands clapping.
But I say all that to say that is the reason why through the bad I stuck with them, right? Because overall, the owner, the organization, even though we had a bad GM and Trent Baalke is a jerk. He messed up a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
But overall, our team, our organization, the ownership was solid throughout.
Always been. Always.
Can't say that. Can't say
organization.
that about the Cowboys because at least we tried. We had some weird coaches. We had coaches that were like, you would scratch your head why this person was a coach, but at least they were, from an organizational standpoint, they tried to make or put out the best product. It didn't always, materialize, but we tried. Right. Cowboys, you have glaring holes, and Jerry Jones is dug in to say he wants to be the smartest person in the room. And when you, at 82, try to be the smartest person when this is a technology age, innovation, and you're still stuck in your ways, well, I'm gonna chew on it and think about it. That's not an organization.
Jerry wants to win his way. If he's not going to get the credit, then he's not going to allow it to happen. He'd rather die not winning a championship his way than to let someone else come in and win it for him. That's why we'll never get the coaches you guys have, or, guys that are Wonder Boy type coaches and GMs that can really run a team. Because somebody else will give them the credit. McCarthy, we won a Super Bowl with McCarthy. No one's going to say McCarthy won. We won in spite of McCarthy, not because
exactly.
So yeah, I agree. But yeah.
So let's get a score because we got a couple of more games to talk about. Let's get a score. Yes, I'm going to go now. I will say this: under Brock Purdy, when the Niners score 28 points or better, we are 19-0. When we don't score 28 points, I think we're 5-10.
28. You said 28 or 20?
28. When we score 28 points or more, we're 19-0 with Brock Purdy. Okay. So I will say this: I think that the Niners are going to. I don't think necessarily this game forces us to have to score over 28, but I think our offense will find a way. And I like the Niners to win 31-28. 31-28 Niners.
Go ahead, Rod.
Look at him looking for some obscure, can I do a half a point? He's looking for some weird number to say. That's why he's looking off into the.
I do give the weird numbers. I think no, I got the Chiefs winning though, because I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I really do think both teams are going to come well prepared defensively, and it's going to be a hard fought battle. So I like the Chiefs though coming out on top, game winning drive, and I've got the Chiefs winning. It's going to be 23-19.
What the?
23-19. It's going to be a defensive battle. I think y'all going to struggle. I think both teams are going to struggle to move the ball. I don't think it's going to be an elite run game for you guys. I think they're going to do some things. I don't trust your coverage though, D. But at the end of the day, I do think y'all will step up in this game. 23-19. I like the Chiefs. Game winning drive. Pat Mahomes. Okay. Is your kicker good, by the way? This is what, your fifth kicker or someone who's kicking for y'all?
That's fine.
Donald Jr.
Well, listen. Aubrey is the most important. I mean, he has more. He is responsible for more.
And you want me to have expectations? You see how y'all?
He's responsible for more points than Dak and CD combined.
Right.
So,
and that's why my expectations are what they are, because my kicker is my most productive offensive weapon. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. My pick is I'm gonna go Chiefs 33, Niners 28. 33-28 Chiefs.
Okay.
So you could clip it.
I'm on the island here, and that's cool. We will clip this. We will clip this.
Yeah, you can clip it. It's fine.
All right. Let's talk about. All right. Let's see what. All right. There we go. I like that. 24.
Well, he's a Niners fan. Of course, he's going to say that.
I mean, not always. Rod is a Cowboys fan, and every week, hey, guys, let me just tell you, we're gonna lose this game. But so, right. Because you're a fan doesn't mean you pick your team. Rod will pick every other team. So when his team wins, yo, what up? Yeah, what up?
All of a sudden, he got Fios again. All of a sudden, he got Fios again.
Right.
When they lose, he got dial up. He's like.
Right. He said Files.
He got Files when they win. Every time they lose, he like, fella. I can't right. He starts sounding like the Chinese movies.
I got the old
kung fu movies.
Exactly.
His lips ain't matching his words. Like
it's all good. Listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's talk about the Eagles, man.
Yeah, let's move on to something more,
And then because we got a lot to talk about with the Cowboys, so we're going round and maybe have a ceremony of the stars being removed from his shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
In that segment. The Eagles. Now, let me tell you, Nick Sirianni, we know he's immature, right?
He's a goof.
And we know he is on the hottest of seats, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and so I think, although I don't think in history, the Eagles have not fired a coach mid-season, right? I don't think that's happened, right? But I think Sirianni could be a candidate for this. They've won in spite of. I think overall they have to win this game. I think because it's so the way Washington's been playing and the way they continue to play and how out the gate. Now let's also give a shout out to Magic Johnson, because I don't care if he's 0.1% of a team. Any team that he attaches himself to,
yeah, it's true.
Listen, they're going to be
He's
something.
A winner, man.
He's a winner. He just and maybe it's just, his business acumen, that smile. He attaches himself, and the managing partners of an ownership team or whatever, anything he touches. Look at the Dodgers, right? Look at, arguably Washington, how they out the gate are balling out. So I think every game for the Cowboys and especially the Eagles, who really have a shot to win their division,
and the conference.
I think, well, we'll start with the division first. Let's not get too lofty.
Okay.
They have a shot to win their division. Each game matters. Now, my question to you, and I'm going to make another bold prediction. This revenge game that everybody is piping up, I think that ultimately the Eagles will win, but I don't see Saquon having this game that is going to blow the socks off of. I think they're going to maybe by conscious decision try to make him not a factor in the W. I think if they lose, they'll lose, but their goal will be to take him out and not make him the reason, because it adds insult to injury that the player that you could have kept, you let him go, he goes to another team, balls out, and then they come back and smear it in your face. What do you say?
Well, I feel like this, right? I don't even feel like this is a revenge game or anything for Saquon, because it's not even like he burned them to come to us. They did not pay him. They let him walk.
They burned him because
that's what I'm saying.
So it could be revenge, because when you think about it, when the way they were discussing and describing Saquon, they were acting like he was washed. Like, let's pay Danny dimes, and Saquon, he's an afterthought. And now he's balling out. So
But yeah, like I'm saying, I mean, from what I heard from Saquon, his demeanor is just another game. Like, they didn't want me, so I'm where, I wanted to go, and we just gonna go handle business. Like, I don't see him. You know how most people, they play their former team and they say, well, I'm gonna make them regret, letting me walk. They always got like these little slogans and catchphrases and all of that. But I haven't seen that from He don't seem like that kind of a player. Maybe he just does less talking and more doing on the field. So we'll see how he comes out, if he's running extra hard and just being extra with it. But from his demeanor, from what I see in interviews and stuff, he don't seem like that type. But then again, when you get on the field, we're all human, so maybe he will give it a little extra oomph and lower his shoulder extra, with at the point of contact or whatever. But long as we come out with the W, like, I don't care about none of that. And for FanDuel purposes, as long as he get me 2 touchdowns. We gonna be real about it. But yeah, I don't see this being a contest at all, really. I think the kid Neighbors is playing tomorrow.
He's back.
Yeah, so so they're gonna have to give us a heavy dose of Neighbors, and because they're running.
Well, he was the highest targeted receiver prior to his concussion, but
that's all
he can
got.
ball. He can ball.
Oh, he's gonna be a problem for the years to come.
That's all they got. So he's the number one, and number ones can't get shut down, right, Rod?
Ooh.
He's going to get targeted. He's going to get receptions, but
can the Eagles shut him down? Because yes, ones can get shut down, but the Eagles haven't shown that they can shut down anybody.
Right. Our defense is, as Rod like to say, porous. Our defense is porous, and it's, I don't think our defense is that good. But I think the side of the ball where we put the money at better show up. Like the offense better show up. It's the same as last year. I mean, we got cornerbacks now. We got a couple linebackers that's actually playing okay, but our money is made on offense. So I feel like we really should run the score up on these guys easily because they're not that good on either side of the ball. Now, any given Sunday, any team can lose, but I don't even see this being close tomorrow. Like this is going to be a drubbing. Yeah, we gonna put hands
So
and feet
now
on
next show, don't have to wear a disguise since you're saying drubbing.
Hey man, listen, man, we gonna cross that. What did you say? What did you say earlier?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, let's not get too lofty.
Let's not get too lofty,
Yeah,
right?
let's not get too lofty, man. But yeah, if everything goes as planned, and everybody's playing except Goddard, and that dude Calcaterra stepped up big time in his absence, so we shouldn't miss a beat. Now, are we going to miss a beat? We might, because the play calling might be, stupid like it has been the past 6 weeks or 5, however many weeks it's been. But listen, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna have my jersey on, and I don't know if I'm gonna have a hat on, but I'm gonna have my jersey on. I'm gonna be sitting in front of the TV, and I'm gonna be yelling. I'm gonna do my part. Now it's up to them to do theirs. Rod, what you think? Rod, how much you think we're gonna win by?
No, I think y'all win pretty handily. Giants haven't won at home yet. 0-3. They don't really have a lot of weapons. Singletary, I thought was going to be something. Their little running back.
That's like you just did. Now we're gonna mess around and lose. He just did like when the announcer, when the kicker comes up, he haven't missed a field goal in 8 years, and then all of a sudden he kicks it. Oh my! Thanks, Rod. Thanks for that. Let me change my face.
Yeah, he might.
Right. Make my
cash out on that. Whatever, if it's
cash out,
whatever leg in that parlay, just cash out.
Yeah,
exactly. Rod just gave you the jinx.
He mushed you the jinx, bro. Yes, I give you the jinx. I give you the jinx. Nah, the Eagles should win this. I really don't see the Giants really prevailing. I mean, the Giants is a very tricky team. They're funny. I mean, could they win? We saw this last year when they was going into New York, y'all actually, I think y'all dropped to them twice in the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Have to fact check that. But at the end of the day, I think right now the Eagles win early. The Eagles always look good early. It's just too early for them to falter right now. Let's wait till week 13, 14, 15. That's when we see the real Eagles come forth. But as of right now, they'll win, and AJ looked really good in his first game back. I just think they got too much to offer, too much firepower there. But I don't agree, though, D. I think Sirianni won't get fired if he doesn't become the cause for them to lose. Now, he's doing bonehead stuff, but he's not the reason why they're either winning or losing.
But he got a great record with us over the first couple years that he's been there. Like he don't have losing. It's just his antics is real, juvenile, and like some people might get tired of it. But as record wise, he's been a good coach.
That's why I don't think they'll fire him. I think because I don't think he's the reason why if they're losing or winning, he's not the reason per se.
I can see him getting fired mid-season if this goes off the rails like last year.
That
was the point I was going to make, Scrap. You're right. If it goes like last year, before they got to stop that bleeding because they didn't do that last year. Then I agree with you there. I agree with that.
And plus, I do think that the difference was also we don't know if this is it was Sirianni that contributed to the success, or if it was his offensive and defensive coordinator that they lost. That was the deciding factor. So this is on Sirianni more so than the new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator that they have. So we'll see.
At the same time, the offensive and defensive coordinator are so decorated. So are we going to win in spite of Sirianni and not because of him? Like if he really don't, if it seemed like every time he say he did something, it's always something that failed. Like he said, I called the play on 3rd and 1 when Jalen got sacked and then the field goal got blocked. Okay. So, but he also has been known to, fall on the sword and take the blame for something somebody else did. Like last year against the Seattle when, they threw the ball to AJ downfield and Sirianni came on and said, well, I figured we can get a pass interference. And then it came out weeks later. AJ said, oh, no, we didn't do what he told him to do. We did what we wanted to do on that play. So sometimes, he takes the blame. That. Yeah. Right. He takes the blame for his players. So and apparently the players love him. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like the thing where.
And that has nothing to do with you collect. People love Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is getting $20,000 a week for the rest of the season. So they can love you and you still getting paid. on the sideline or somewhere else.
Remember that
20,000?
game? Remember that
20,000.
game when they played? I think it was Monday. I know it was a primetime game, and Aaron Rodgers threw the touchdown, and Saleh tried to hug him, and Aaron Rodgers pushed him back.
No.
Like
I get that.
him.
I get that.
Right.
But there are players on the team that thought that his dismissal was not fair, and it wasn't.
Right.
It was premature. It wasn't warranted. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Sauce Gardner personally said something like he thanks him. He added to, his overall play. He appreciated him as a coach, and he wasn't thrilled about him being fired. So there, of course, when there is anytime a coach is fired, right, there's going to be people that are endeared to that coach, but in mid-season, of course, and then sometimes the writing is on the wall, right?
Absolutely.
Talk about Jacksonville, for example. We're not talking about, because that's just a game that maybe, unless you have fantasy or something else, you don't want to even be involved in watching that game. But there's a 6:30 game on the West Coast, 9:30 East Coast tomorrow. Now, Jacksonville, Peterson is on the hot seat. I've heard people joke around and say if they lose both games across the pond, he might as well just stay there and continue vacationing.
Yeah,
don't come back.
Just
to stay there. So I think it's going to boil down to, ultimately how mature, because I think he does have to display a level of maturity and be able to settle the team, because when you play teams like the Giants and teams that you should on paper beat, the Browns, when there's teams that you should beat and you don't, that shows a lack of preparation and discipline, especially when your coach is talking to the crowd. As Rod said, your back should be to the crowd. You shouldn't even be paying attention while your players are on the field. But the fact that you're jawing with someone who's inebriated, right, that shows that you're not fit to lead a team, and you should be in the stands. You're now a fan. When you start doing that, you should be in the stands just like them. So I think he's going to have to display maturity moving forward, or they're going to find him in the stands somewhere. But let's come up with a score. What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Scrap.
With me, I like it to score upwards of 40 points this week. So I'm gonna say,
goodness.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I'm gonna say
Giants is ranked number 10 in defense now overall. They don't have a bad defense.
And I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not.
Which court is on IR though? So
they ain't played the Eagles
Thibodeau.
yet.
I think Thibodeau. I think he went on IR. He has an injury, but
Tom
they
Thibodeau,
do have
the Knicks coach. Tom Thibodeau.
I think his name is I think his
name
is
something like that.
Kayvon. Yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he came from Oregon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he came from Oregon.
But I think they do have a good deep. I love this because he's going to have a disguise on in the next. When they say 40 points, I'm gonna have the old just a symbol. It's gonna be a symbol. It's not gonna be
the old school hats that the cartoon people wear when they go to sleep. The real long hat that flop up. I'm gonna have one of them on in my onesie or my Batman onesie on. Yeah, I'm gonna have my Batman onesie on next show, man. What you talking about, man? I like a 42.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, 40. We're gonna get our Jackie Robinson on. Yeah, 42 to
ready, bro.
17. Cause they gonna score a lot of garbage time points. Like second half, third quarter, fourth quarter, they're gonna get a touchdown here and there. Yeah. But yeah, we gonna go to the Meadowlands and just remember what Rick James did in Charlie Murphy in them house when he grinded his feet all in. That's gonna be us in midfield, grinding our feet in their logo, man. That's what we gonna do, man.
I disagree with you. I disagree. Of course you do. And it's not. No, I think you guys will win, but I don't think. First of all,
what are you up to?
Player for player, yes, you have an advantage, but I don't think you have an advantage coaching, right? So Dayball will be able to your weaknesses. He's going to. Danny Dimes is a mobile quarterback, whether you like him or not. He's mobile.
I know.
He can pass, and if he targets neighbors enough, if they play action to pass, I think they have a shot to keep it close. Not though, we're going to just come in at the end and in garbage time score 17 points. I think that ultimately the Eagles will win, but it's going to be a lot closer than what you're saying. I say 27-24 Eagles. It's going to be close, and it's going to be competitive throughout. It's not the drubbing. I don't see that.
Yeah. That's what's up, Pod Drill. Yes, sir. We in the building.
Who?
We here. What? That's Pod Drill. That's one of your boys? I don't know.
No, it's one of my boys.
We had a whole big thing about this a couple weeks ago.
Oh. Uh-oh.
You know, SKRAPP always.
Yeah, P. I call him P. I'm not calling him that. I don't care what's going on.
Well, he's a Cowboy fan, so you know.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
That's what's up. Yeah, we back. Now I got the Eagles winning 30. Eagles will win 33. It'll be 33-20. The game is actually going to be competitive, I think, in the beginning a little bit. I think y'all going to kind of
because it starts off 0-0.
Yeah, it's good.
What are you talking about? It's going to be close in the first 10 seconds.
Yo, this dude, man. I said in my last show, man, if I ever fall on hard times, I'm taking SKRAPP and Dom with me, man. Y'all going to put y'all on stage, man. I'm going to be your manager. I can make a lot of money off y'all, man. Y'all are but listen, 30, I think 33-20. Then y'all gonna break away. Y'all gonna distance yourself, and then the Giants are gonna be the Giants at this point. And again, like I said, it's still too early in the year for the Eagles to start flopping. So you know they'll win this game. I don't know about over 40 though. What was your score again? What you say?
42, 17, 42-17.
But the 17 is gonna come late in the game after.
Yeah, that's gonna come late, man. Listen, our starter's gonna be on the side playing spades or like pinochle or something, man. Smoking cigarette. Like what they do? Oh yeah, that's cool. 10 more points.
That's cool. How bad it was. I don't know if y'all saw this week on I think it was
the Lions game.
Yeah, the Lion game. And dude was on the podcast this week, and he was talking to I think Armand St. Brown was talking to one of the defensive backs, and it was like, yeah, man, we weren't even paying attention anymore, man. We on the sideline, and we looked up again like, oh, another interception. Like we weren't even paying no mind.
They was over there playing. They was over there playing charades.
Yeah, son. They wasn't
name that tune and stuff, man. While they was over there doing that to y'all.
Yo, we still playing?
All right, let's move on to that star.
All right, let's talk about the Cowboys. All right, so listen, Jerry Jones was on, and Rod kind of discussed this on the show, our last show. He was discussing and somewhat defending not the Cowboys, not their lack of making moves to benefit the team. He was very hard on Jerry Jones and the organization as how they do things. But when Jerry Jones got a little, feisty, if you will, because when you're 82, you can only get feisty, right? You can't do too much. You get pushed down. But when you're 82, you got feisty with the 105. Is it 105? 103 the fan.
Yeah, 105.3 the fan.
105.3 the fan. And the hosts were doing their job, just asking him questions that every Cowboy fan should be asking. Number two, just fans in general. Hey, listen, why didn't you make moves in the offseason when you know you didn't have a run game? I'm kind of paraphrasing the question, but it's basically, why didn't you do anything? And so Jerry Jones wants to reflect on yesteryear as to all the things that he has done, as opposed to addressing the question. And then Jerry Jones took it a step further to say, I don't want you to ask me anything. You can't ask me that question, and I'll find someone else to ask me these questions.
Sound like the Mad Rapper on the Biggie intro. The Biggie,
right? So it was more of a starting to threaten these guys, as opposed to just facing the fact that, hey, we didn't do all that we could do to put a great product on the field, and as a result, yes, we're a 500 team, but nobody thinks. I mean, we're a 500 team. But our trajectories as to where people see us going is light years away from the Cowboys. We're moving in the right direction. The Cowboys, not so much. And we see week after week where, because you don't have a balanced offense, because you are extremely one-dimensional with a number one receiver that can be shut down on any given week. I got to get that out there, right? Number one that can be shut down, right, on any given week. It starts to, and when teams know that, they don't have to focus on anything else. Just apply immense pressure on Dak, bracket CeeDee Lamb so that he is always doubled because, we don't need an Amari Cooper. We don't need another receiver to take that pressure off of our best receiver to open him up. Those are the things that people should be scratching their head about as to why. And so he became extremely defensive. And I think the Cowboys are in serious, serious trouble. What do you say?
Go ahead, Rod.
No, I agree. I totally agree, D. And you talked about early in the show them bringing back Cooper, and again, that's Jerry's not going to do that. He has way too much pride. He's not going to do that because you lost him for a fifth, and again, he did that out of spite. It was really to demean Amari Cooper, to say that's what we think of you. Matter of fact, we're just going to give you away, which is really what they did. And then, of course, Cleveland ends up getting more for him. And then for him to bring Amari Cooper back, that would have just been, he would have really been detonated by the Cowboy fans. We'd have just blew his whole spot up for doing that. That would have just made no sense.
But why? If he's trying,
it would have made sense
to make improvements.
Because
you didn't have to pay him that money. You got him back.
Yeah, but again, when you put it in context, how everything started and how, again, for those like are intimate in the Cowboy circles, Cooper wasn't really, a lot of people didn't really think high of him, man. He would, he'd take off plays. He was hurt, big moments, big third down moments. He's off the field.
Is he better than your number 2 today?
Of course he is.
That's all that matters.
But again, I don't think Coop would have moved the needle because we can't block. Zach Martin, again, and I said it in the show, he has to retire. He's got to go. This is his last season. He's getting bull rushed. This is a Hall of Famer, one of, if not top 3 right guards in the history of the game. Like literally, and I'm not saying just because he's a Cowboy, like literally. Like that he's walking into the Hall of Fame the minute he puts his retirement papers in. That's how good he is. But he's gone now. He's not that player anymore. Steele is trash on the right end. You got our all-pro tackle that we drafted last year. They really got him on the inside playing left guard. They moved him out to left tackle because they wanted to bring in you got the other boy, I forgot his name just that quick, that's now in there. But McCarthy's trying to find the best matchup. You drafted Tyler Guyton as your number 1 draft pick as the left tackle, but he's having a bad season. He's leading the league in holds. He's not really playing up to the potential. So now we're scrambling trying to find our 5 best. B.B. Cooper, another rookie who we drafted in the 3rd round. He's in there. He's playing formidably well, but he's not really, he's not, again, the line is not great. So you can't block. Dak is getting too much pressure. So Cooper I don't think Cooper would have made a difference, guys. This team is not built to win. And as I said then, I'm going to say it again. The Dallas Cowboys are not a football team. You have 31 NFL teams, and then you have the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are an economy within the economy. They are an industry. They are not a football team. That team football is about 4th or 5th on the list when it comes to importance. Football does not mean anything to Jerry. And the real reason why Jimmy Johnson got fired, it wasn't only simply because Jimmy got the credit for winning on the field, which everybody is most concerned about, it's because Jerry didn't get credit for rehabbing the team financially, bringing the team back up to a level of dominance through his marketing, and the Cowboys were back to being a premier team again and bringing value back. The Cowboys are losing $1 million a month when Jerry bought the team back in '89. But Jerry didn't get credit for that. Everybody only saw what was on the field. Why? Because people care about football. We don't care about your contracts. We don't care about your vending contracts and merchandising contracts and all the things that you did to bring the things into the league. That's not what matters. None of that mattered. There was a point in time, guys, when you had Clint Murchison, who was the real owner of the Cowboys, who bought the Cowboys originally. He did 3 of the most important things. He hired Tom Landry, he hired Gil Brandt, and Tex Schramm. Cowboys go on 20 winning seasons, and the owner stepped out. Didn't have nothing to do. You didn't even hear from him. He let guys coach and GM that team. 20 winning seasons, 5 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl wins, okay? And the Cowboys are innovative. First ones to bring in cheerleaders. We widen up the sidelines. There used to be thin sidelines. The Cowboys said, no, we told the league, we got to open it up. Tex Schramm put the goalpost. Remember the goalpost used to be right up on the 1-yard line? Well, guess who got that pushed back? The Cowboys, Tex Schramm. Tom Landry, innovative with flex defense and moving and motion and different things. The shotgun was invented by Tom Landry. He was an innovative coach because why? He had nobody interfering. That is a football team then.
Well, you know what? I think Dallas should be innovative more now and say they should be able to put their offense on the field against no defense.
Say that one more time. Say that again.
I said Dallas should be innovative now where they should be able to put their offense on the field with no defense out there so that they can score some points. Because goodness gracious, he keeps throwing it to the other team.
Well, you know, again, Dak and CD not on the same page. That's what you get for not having a training camp. And again, that's on Jerry. That's not on CD. I'm not mad at CD for holding out, but Jerry should have had him in camp, right? That's the whole purpose of it. You said you all in. And you know what his idea of all in? Signing CD and Dak. That was it. That's all he did. And I hear what you're saying, but the red zone is horrible. We're not innovative in the red zone. I can't believe that we actually did a drag route when we hit Tolbert for the winning touchdown in Pittsburgh. That I couldn't believe it. I didn't even think we was going to score because we can't score in the red zone. Dallas is one of the worst teams in the red zone. But we have no running game. And Rico fumbles the ball. That would have been a time to bring in Zeke. That's what you brought him back for, right? If it's a first and goal situation, at least bring Zeke in for that. One thing Zeke is not going to do. Zeke won't fumble, and
I
he
wasted
will
the
block.
draft pick on that guy thinking he was going to get touchdowns like that.
Nah, nothing. They don't even play Zeke. Zeke was complaining about his playing time. They're like, yeah, whatever. And then the more he complained, the more his touches went down. So Dallas is finished, guys. I mean, I'm just being honest. Mike Zimmer is porous, bad, putrid, rancid, horrible as a defensive coordinator. The game is passing by. You hired a guy you had in your building 35 years ago. He was an assistant with Jimmy Johnson and Dave Weinstein when they were running the defense. He's not that guy. He had some good defenses in Minnesota, but he's past the time. He don't know what to do with the Shanahan tree. He don't know what to do with that level of coaching. Those offensive minds today. Come on, man. That dude Johnson. And Johnson wanted an interview with the Cowboys when he was looking for a head coach job, and Dallas wouldn't give him one. That's why he ran the score and was doing pitches and plays to offensive linemen and all kind of stuff. Because, again, Dallas and Jerry will never do the right thing because Jerry is not going to allow us to win any other way but his way. And that's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you know what, man? I'm taking that off now. You know what I mean? That's the first star that gets ripped off, man. Because I listen, I don't care. I'm here. I'm a Cowboy fan. Always will be. All right? See, these guys are supposed to be, you know what, America? They're supposed to be helping me through my
I gave
English.
you a standing ovation.
You did. Donald laughed at me just then.
No, we were celebrating.
That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I'm just trying, man. I'm trying to make sense of it all. But the more I make sense of it all, the more I find myself now being in a place of rest and comfort. I'm at ease. I'm not anymore stressed out.
Stress-free football.
Stress-free football. Rest once his team is out of it. The start of the season, he's hyped. And then there is there's so many other things. You got to there's birds out there. You got to just, take a minute just to observe life, man. We don't have to. Yeah, that's good.
You know, people was asking me, and I asked you, Rod. I had to ask you in the group because people was texting me like, "Are the Wood Ups going to be as energetic after the Lions did what they did?" Like, they was worried about the Wood Ups because you like, "What up? What up? What up? What up?" But you like, "What up? What's up? What's up?" Like,
what's going on, everybody?
Yeah,
they took the starch out the Wood Ups, man. But what we gonna do about scores for this game? What we doing? What you got, Rod? What's the score going to be for this game?
What, for the Cowboys? They're going
to win. They're going to win this week. They're going to definitely win this week.
Yeah. We got this win, and we'll get another win against the Giants, and that'll be it.
I say Cowboys 17 by 22.
Yo, that is hilarious. Dak fumbled 2 times during the bye. Yeah. Now, congratulations to Dak. He's getting married. He got engaged, right? So he will get a ring this year for sure. And then we also have Dak. Listen, when you're not doing anything on the field, you might as well do stuff off field, right? If you watched on X, he had this beautiful mansion. He's tearing it down to build a new house, a new mansion. He got engaged. They have a little baby. So listen, life is good. When you're making $60 million a year, life is good. Why? Listen, make some other stuff happen. Hopefully, he's smart. He's doing business ventures and making sure that after his career is over, which will not be a Hall of Fame career, when his career is over, he will be set for life. You know, honestly, he's already made generational wealth, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He's got to be close to 400 or 500 million. So he's set with all the endorsements and his football contracts. So hopefully maybe he just starts to transition away from football,
right.
you know, because his heart isn't there. I think he's kind of, from a standpoint, he's not really focused on the field. What do you guys say?
I don't know, Donald. I don't know. You know, I didn't really give it a lot of thought like that until you brought these points out. And you know what? I think you're right. I mean, you're talking about Dak now. What would be, I guess, this is his 9th season now. Made obviously plenty of money. And I even think even with him, I honestly, this is what I really think Dak would have hoped for. I think Dak was hoping to leave Dallas. Because Jerry gave him the bag, you're going to take the money. But if he didn't get a contract, I don't think it would have bothered him. I think he was okay with moving on and finding himself in a different situation, different environment, seeing what it feels like to be with maybe a better, well-ran organization outside of what Dallas gives him. Mm-hmm. And I think he would have been, okay with that. So I'm not going to say I'm completely submerged in, or immersed rather, with your take on that, but I will say this though, it's not far-fetched, and I would not be surprised because Dak does not appear to be completely
all in. He's not all in.
Well, he's not all in. His owner's not either, right? So you know, why should he be? And the offense is what it is. This is not going to get better. There's nothing you don't have those minds in there that can make things better. You don't have a Shanahan, a McVay, a LaFleur, a Bob Johnson. I hope I'm getting his name right. The OC from Detroit. I know it's Johnson. I don't know. I keep saying Bob, but I don't sound like this.
I think it is. I think
it is Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson. Yeah. Like these guys are, these guys, they know how to fix things, right? They're creative, very innovative. There's nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? The other guy, who's there? I'm drawing a blank.
Canellis.
Marty Schottenheimer, the third. He's horrible. I don't even know why they even brought him in. He's the OC installer as well. You know, McCarthy calls the plays, but he installs the offense along with McCarthy. Quarterbacks coach, he's trash. He's never had any real success in the NFL with some of the quarterbacks he's coached. And so, yeah, I don't think there's anything better. And the defense just isn't there. We'll get Micah back after the bye. D-Law, he'll probably be gone after this year. He'll play again this year, but we don't have anything there. Bland should be back, but I don't even think if you got these guys.
That's exciting. Who do you play after the bye?
We got the 49ers.
You know why did it take you so long? You knew who you playing.
I was actually going to go to the schedule, but then it clicked. I was like, oh wait, okay, that's just
So listen,
we're losing that game.
They didn't do us.
I'll give you a score now. You want to score now? I can give you a score now. Okay.
The NFL tried to do everything. This is why this game is important. This is why we'll play well. The NFL did everything they could to try to. Yes, they gave us a mini bye week by us playing Thursday and then having 10 days off. But they're giving us really good teams. Kansas City, Cowboys, just for the sake of it being Cowboys, they're coming off of a bye. So we're getting teams fresh off of a bye. We know Andy Reid, 21-4 outside of the bye or after a bye. So Cowboys having extra time to prepare. But I think when it's all said and done, we'll have 2 W's out of it. Let's talk about these blockbuster trades that the Cowboys were not involved in. 2 receivers were available. Of course, Rosie, this is for you. Devontae Adams reunites with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. And
Who's
this
Rosie
is
a fan of?
He's a Jet fan.
Jets fan.
Yeah. This is definitely coming on the heels excuse me, of Aaron Rodgers throwing Mike Williams under the bus, telling the media, which he didn't have to do. He's not taking responsibility for the fact that he underthrew the ball, but he threw Mike Williams under the bus. And maybe that was because he needed to kind of create or kind of burn that bridge so that would ultimately be the straw that broke the camel's back and they can get that deal done to get Devontae there. Long story short, they lost the game. Next thing you know, Devontae, who has been nursing a hamstring injury, all of a sudden is a Jet. Do I think that this is going to be beneficial for the Jets? What do I think that this will do to Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall? In the immediate, Garrett Wilson's numbers will go down, right? Because Aaron Rodgers has proven throughout his career, with the Randall Cobbs, the Jordy Nelsons, if he's comfortable with you and you and him are on the same page, expect to get a lot of the targets. Now, I'm not saying Garrett Wilson is going to be completely shut down. In the long run, it will benefit Garrett Wilson because he won't get the number one coverage anymore. Provided Devontae stays healthy and plays like we know Devontae can play, I think that will help overall to balance. Now, the fact that you have a number one and a number two receiver, that should open it up for Breece Hall. Breece Hall, we know, is a great running back. I think overall it should help the offense as a whole. But initially, they have a good game this week. This is going to be, for those that don't know, I believe they play the Steelers. The Steelers, although they were 4-2, they are moving to Russell Wilson, and this will be his first start, although Tomlin is still tight-lipped about it. Tomlin, I'm not going to let you know we'll let you know. Long story short, the receiver already said, this is his first start. Mm-hmm. So I think the Jets are going to be in a good position, but they have an uphill battle, right? They're 2-4, so this is a must-win, right? For them to even and so you got to make a step and win your division, right? And so for them to catch the Bills, these games are vitally important. You got to win these games, the winnable games, the ones that Now, if they lose this game, arguably it's going to be really, really tough for them to win the division. They may get a wild card, right? But they would still have to play good enough to get the wild card. I think Devontae Adams is a good get just because of there should be no learning curve. They should be able to hit the ground running. What do you guys say?
I like the trade. I think the trade is going to help them. Mike Williams definitely wasn't the answer for them. The chemistry was clearly off, and it was really more evident in the last game they played. So I think Devontae gives them a boost. The play calling is better. The guy that called the plays for them, I thought he did a pretty good job. They got to clean up on the penalties, obviously, but I thought the offense ran smooth. To your point, Breece Hall, getting him back involved. I think they're going to be good. They got the Steelers, and then they've got the Patriots after that. So they could win, at least get these two games, but then they got Houston and Arizona. So it gets a little, they could probably beat Arizona, I'm sure, and then they got Indianapolis on another Sunday night coming up, I think, as well. So that's going to be interesting. They got a little mixture of a competitive schedule coming up to some degree, but I do think that they'll bounce back. And I like the Devontae Adams trade. I think that helps them a great deal. And I like that they got rid of the play caller there.
Nathaniel Hackett
trash. Yeah, trash. I'm glad
Nathaniel Hackett was running a racket. He wasn't doing nothing. He's just he's just a nice he's just one of those guys that you put in a headlock and you give him a noogie. Like he was Aaron Rodgers' friend. He's just a jag, right? Yeah. Listen, just a jag that Aaron Rodgers is about hooking his boys up, getting them jobs, getting them paid, getting them moved all over. Hey, everybody. Exactly. Right. Hey, everybody wants a friend like Aaron Rodgers. If you tight, exactly. he's gonna look out for you and get you a job.
Look out for you. That's true.
Yeah.
That's the point. I agree.
So what do you think about do you agree that Russell Wilson should be the starter? I understand the logic behind it because Fields is only going to get you but so far, right? The running quarterback who's not accurate is only going to get you but so far. Right. You need somebody when you start playing those AFC opponents that have like an air offense, you're going to have to be able to push the ball down the field. And the fact that you're not able to do that, it limits what you can do. Your defense will work harder. You're not going to be able to really compete when it's all said and done.
But that goes back to my point, Scrap, and I'm sorry if I could just say this real quick. This goes back to my point real fast about expectations. you got to play Wilson, right? Both of these guys are on a 1-year deal. So both these guys can either be out of the building altogether or one will stay. But you got to evaluate them. This was a year of evaluation for the Steelers. They know they're not winning anything. They're not going anywhere. But expectation says, okay, let's manage this expectation. Let's see what we got in these quarterbacks. Could these guys be the future, or at least give us bridge us for a couple of years until we get what we want? And that's all that Tomlin is doing this year. That's it. He knows what he's got in other places. They do got to get another receiver, and they got to get a better running game. But you got to play Wilson. You got to see what you got in him. You brought him here. You got him here. You got him for peanuts on $1. So go ahead and play him. See what you got. And you know, I'm not saying they're going to go out looking to lose. They want to be competitive. But at the end of the day, Steelers fans and Mike Tomlin and the Rooney family, they know that team is not going anywhere. But you at least need to see what you have. So you said it, Don. Fields already gave you what he's going to give you, not giving you any more. And he even came out and said he played bad. He said, you know, he understands why he's getting bitched. So, you know, it's to his own admission. So, yeah, I think they got to play Russell.
It looks to me like they giving them both what, like a 6-game run to prove to win the job, you know, because it's like because when they first got Russ, everybody assumed that he was going to be the starter, and then it was just dropped. Oh no, he's not the starter. Fields is the starter. So it's like I said, it's like they gave Fields 6 games.
Well, Wilson got hurt though.
He got the injury. The injury, I think, kind of derailed that at the onset because he had that calf strain.
Well, why was he in full uniform on the sideline?
Well, that's him. That's just that quirkiness of he's quirky that way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He'll have the helmet on and still, you know, he's in full pads and
he's the kid that's just
headset.
running and sliding in the grass so he can get his uniform washed when he really didn't even play. Right. But yeah, I mean that's what it looked like to me. They just giving them both like a 6-game, you know, what's they call sample pack, you know, to see, and then after Russell's 6 games, they're going to evaluate them both, and then Russell probably have like a not so good performance, and then like, oh, we're going to put Fields back in, you know. So like I do agree that they're not going to go anywhere, but I mean I do expect them to make the playoffs because that's just what Mike Tomlin does, no matter who's the quarterback. So I expect them to be playing in the playoffs. I don't expect them to go far, but I expect them to make the playoffs. But who knows? I mean, I don't with these quarterbacks, man. You like Don said, like you got to get chemistry. You got to find your go-to guy, because like with the Jets, Rodgers got his go-to guy, his security blanket. Like if worst come to worst, you know the ball is going to Devontae Adams. The guy catch radiuses is like, you know, is out of this world. Like you just throw it anywhere near him and he's going to come down with it. So that's going to make the Jets, you know, an even better team, because their defense was not the problem at all. Like their defense was getting gashed because it was gas. Like, you know, they get off the field and then Rodgers throw the ball to the other team. So now they're back on the field. So I think with the addition of Adams, like the Jets are, like Don said, the division is pretty much theirs to lose, because Buffalo don't got that much on offense, because their wide receivers are no names, and then they didn't have Cook. So I mean they really should have lost that game. I mean, if you want to be honest. But you know, Rodgers kept throwing the ball away. So, but with the Steelers, I don't know, man. I mean, the jury's still out on this team. Like, I don't know which quarterback gonna make them respectable, or you know, steer them in the right direction. So, I mean, I can't call it. Yeah, give Russ a chance. See what he can do.
Yeah, let him cook. Yeah. Give him, and you'll see if he's able to unlock Pickens, which we know is a dynamic receiver. He just hasn't gotten the opportunity. And I'll say this. This past week is more of an indictment on the Cowboys, and I hate to, saw off a limb, but the Jets lost, made an improvement, right? The Bills won, made an improvement. So teams are trying to improve whether they win or lose. The Cowboys are just sitting on their hands, if you will. Right. Because look at this. Now, Amari Cooper goes to the Bills, and I think he makes an instant impact, right? Because you think about it. As Scrap said, they have no-name receivers. They were able to win without their number one running back, without arguably a number one receiver, if you will. They have a good tight end, of course, and of course they have Josh Allen. But now adding Amari Cooper is going to open everything up. It's going to open up for Cook. It's going to open up for himself, because he's still a high-end route runner. He has good hands. And of course, it's going to open up the other receivers who are not going to get the main coverage and allow them to mature into next level receivers. So I think I think the Amari Cooper because what they did was, I think the Browns knew all along that they were going to trade Amari Cooper. That's why they converted most of his money into a bonus. So the Bills are only responsible for $800,000. And for Amari Cooper's skill set, you're getting him for a song, really. Pretty much you're getting him for a song. So I think he's going to pay big dividends. It may take him a week or two, but I think, honestly, he's going to make impact tomorrow. I really do.
Yeah,
I think he's going to make instant impact, even if it's in short routes. Because, a wide receiver, if you know how to get open, of course, the terminology from team to team is different. But once you get the concept, even if they just use you on a handful of plays, we're going to do this, this, and this. Get open. Amari Cooper, we can all trust and believe that he knows how to get open. He's going to be on the field. He's going to get open.
Especially against the Titans. Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was sitting on a couch. He was still playing. It just was that Deshaun couldn't get him the ball, right? So he was running. He's in game shape. And along with Devontae, right? So they should pick up where they left off. Now, of course, because Devontae has that chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, you expect the learning curve to be a lot shorter. Josh Allen, I think, over the course of a week or two, they're going to be in sync. So I like both pickups, and the fact that Dallas didn't think, there's still time. If they think that they don't have to add anything is really, really sad.
Dallas got dealt an 11 in blackjack and said, "I'm a stand." Right, you got to get a hit. Take a hit, man.
Take a hit. Try something.
That's not Jerry, man. Jerry. If you think about Jerry, the only notable free agents that he ever signed was Dion. They signed, which was a bad signage there.
The dude from Detroit, the wide receiver from Detroit.
Roy Williams. Yeah,
Roy Williams.
They did bring in Williams. They did. And that didn't work out. That worked out okay. He had a few games, but then once they drafted Dez told him he tried to make Dez carry his bags when he was a rookie. Dez like,
his pads or something from the practice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dez like, nah, we're not having that. That's it. Yeah,
right.
So that he ended up he fell out of favor, so he was gone. Brandon Carr. We signed Brandon Carr a $50 million contract, the cornerback from the Chiefs. Horrible player. Wasn't even worth that money anyway. So he was a bust. And then Greg Hardy. We had him for a couple of weeks, with his issues going on. But that was it. Jerry.
And then he went to UFC.
Right. Then he went to the UFC and started fighting. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's not the Cowboys mantra. They just, you hear Stephen Jones say, we like our guys, we like our guys, we like our guys. That's all you're going to hear him ever say, and that's, they're not big free agent guys. They're just not going to do it. Again, that's not good for the economy. So, And
I got to say, I thought your commentary on the Cowboys just being an economy, it was brilliant. I'm be honest. I didn't look at it that way, and I'm not being funny. I didn't look at it that way, but it made perfect sense. And if you know how everyone, clicheically says, if it's not broke, why fix it? Mm-hmm. They are still highly successful financially. So no bottom line is hurt, right? So why would I change anything? Good. Jerry Jones is, if you looked in the dictionary at good publicity, bad publicity is all publicity, you would see Jerry Jones' picture. He doesn't care if you talk about them negatively or positively, as long as you talk about them.
Right.
And he's all about the headlines. And the fact that people are running him into the ground, the fact that they didn't like his response to the radio show, it's all good for Jerry. Jerry's like, they talking about me. So enough with the Cowboys.
You're right.
Let's quickly talk about a few things. Okay, so I just saw on X that Tua is supposed to be coming back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tua has had a series of concussions dating back to college. He had a hip issue. And now last year he had 2 concussions that we know of. And then he he had a bad concussion this year. And so he's been out for, I believe, 4 weeks. They didn't put him on IR, but he's been out for 4 weeks. They kind of left it in limbo. He's going to get information from doctors and opinions and see what's going on. I have said from the beginning, Tua, you just signed a very lucrative contract. If you have to give a portion or the majority of it back, you're still, I think you walk away with something like 40 or 60 million from that contract. Like, is whatever the fully guaranteed money is, you get that. You would have to give a portion back because you wouldn't be playing if you ultimately retired. But I want to implore him to actually think about your future and retire. I don't think, as much as you want to be there for your guys and as much as you want to, try to salvage Miami's season, it's not worth it. And I think he's going to play. And if I'm honest, he's going to get concussed again this year. And it's not about doom. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Because it puts the players who are playing you in a tough position, right? They've already scaled back the amount of hard hits. Now you're playing with somebody that has defied logic, right? In our eyes, defied the eye test of as to how far he should go. Now when I'm playing you, even the last concussion wasn't a concussion-worthy hit, if you think about it. So now you're putting the defensive player in a position to alter their life. If, God forbid, they sack you as doing their job, and now you're, paralyzed. You are incapacitated. Now they have to live with that instead of you being the responsible person and stepping away and knowing, hey, I got to get out this dance. It's over. When it's over, it's over. When Doc says it's a wrap, it's a wrap. And that's what you should have done. That's what you should do. Your ego is going to be your undoing. And I feel really bad. I don't feel bad for him because he's making this decision. I feel bad for the people that he will have to play against because they arguably or conceivably have to deal with that if they hurt him and end his career. What do you guys say?
I've been said he should have retired after the last one. Like, he should be doing chunky soup commercials because that's what his brain's going to be, soup. Like, the dude, like, I don't even know why we're still talking about this guy. Like, what's the use of playing, and making all this money when you're going to be a vegetable? Like, I mean, what is going on, bro? Like, give it up. Like, I understand you don't want to. Like, I don't even know at this point if the super big, Bill Romanowski helmet will help him, like the Guardian helmet. Like, I don't know if that'll help him. Like, dude, once your brain go, bro, you might as well throw the body away. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
get a living trust. Get a living trust. Listen. Get a living trust. Get power of attorney. Get it now because it just doesn't make sense for you to put yourself in the line of fire like that. Back to you.
I'm about to take out an insurance policy on him, man. Like, for real. Like, that thing gonna cash out in about a year or two, man. Like, I mean, I say it jokingly, but at the same time, I'm serious. Like, dude need to hang it up, man. Like, it's not worth it. All the confetti falling on you in the world is not worth your long-term health, man. And he's young. Is he even 30 yet?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So
he's a young guy, and he can enjoy. He's going to make enough money. He's made enough money, and with this last contract, even if he has to give back, I think he would have to give back like 120 million of it if he retires, right?
Right.
But you mean to tell me you can't find a doctor, and he wouldn't have to give any of it back if a doctor signs off that he's medically
correct?
But you have to seek a doctor that says you can still play, right?
Man,
if you can find anything if you're looking for it, right?
Yeah,
if you want somebody to co-sign you, you can find co-signers. But you mean to tell me that any doctor,
I will go
find Will Smith, who played the concussion doctor.
That's what I'm saying. I will go on University of Phoenix tonight and get my doctorate and sign off on him to say he can't play no more for way less than $100-something million.
Yeah.
He just I'm waiting for us to move to basketball because I got a bone to pick with Rod about that. But go ahead, Rod. Tell you two. Take your two.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you guys, and you're right, Don, on the facts as far as his contract goes. If he's medically unstable to play, then yeah, 124 million he'll get guaranteed. If not, then he'll keep the 40. If they say that he can play, now here's the thing: if they say he can play, which apparently it seems like they're saying he can play, then and he chooses not to play, then he'll only get the $43 million that he already signed, because some of his guaranteed of the 167 was given in a signing bonus of $43 million. Right. He'll only get that, and he'll end up foregoing the rest of this contract for the rest of this year or whatever he had. So
it's still generational, right?
Oh no, he's still. I mean, look, the man has made. I mean, his rookie deal was still a great amount of money, right? I would say this though, guys. I think just with athletes, you know what I mean, and these guys that this is what they've dreamed of all their lives, and I get it. If I'm him, I'm retiring. No doubt about it. But you know, and I agree with all of what you guys are suggesting he should do. But you know, it's sometimes these athletes, man. I mean, look at Ali, right? Ali could have given us some more good, you know, quips and different things in his latter years, way after he retired, if his brain was right? But he, you know, Ali knew what he was getting into, and he preferred to be all but a vegetable the last 20 years of his life, because he'd rather that than have missed out on whatever little left for boxing he had in him, to still relinquish that and give that, because that's what these guys just think they are. They're athletes, and that's all that they've deduced themselves to, and they don't think that they have anything else offered to society outside of that. And so it's hard for these guys, especially when that's been drilled in your mind. And if you've been a good player too, has been celebrated his whole career, right? You know, going to Alabama.
But I think the style, I think the styles matter, right? Ali's time. So if you think about it, Ali's time as opposed to Mayweather's time, right?
Right.
The goal was to win and not get hit. Ali wanted to trade blows, and as a result, in the Olympics, when he was lighting the torch, we seen that taking that many head blows is not good for you. It's not good for your balance. It's not good for you being able to hold a torch.
Right.
All of that stuff. So I think we're in the NFL where we're trying to be as explosive without taking those direct hits. They have taken that away. But if you're susceptible to it and you are, let's just say, a more fragile player, as Tua has proven, even in college, even when he was thriving, he's proven when you have to get you have hip surgery in college, or you have a hip injury,
he's a little.
You already know. Yeah, exactly.
But I think that the good outweighs the bad for him, though. I think in his mind, in other words, all the injuries and the hits and the potential of getting hurt further, particularly with another concussion, to him it doesn't outweigh the success, the allure, the feel, the rush that you get, the adrenaline, all of that of playing football at the and particularly in the NFL level, and knowing what he means to his team and all that kind of stuff. That's how these guys think. It's just, you know, look at Hamlin with Buffalo, right? Obviously, you know, with his situation, I mean, that guy's taking a risk still in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is.
Still playing, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so
nobody's going to care about
being hit. Yeah,
nobody's going to care about that. They can formulate your hands in the casket with the heart. They don't care about that. They honestly don't. So when you
but you know what though, D, neither does he. And that's the thing, how these athletes think.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
He doesn't care either. So
this is my point. This is and then we can move on.
I'll go ahead and then we can talk.
Do you think that with Tua, do you think honestly with the NFL landscape, do you think that the Dolphins can win the Super Bowl? Because you do know the Super Bowl is in February, right?
Yeah.
You do know that there are playoff games that happen in December and January. Yeah. You do know at some point he's going to have to play somewhere where it's under 70 degrees. So if you don't think, if you think he's a Super Bowl, then you lay it out all on the line. But if you're not going to win and you're pushing yourself to be a vegetable, it's a lose-lose in my opinion. If your window, we've seen quarterbacks give their bodies to be burned almost, right? To win, but they were in that winning window where they really, hey, let me tough do this, right?
Right.
I read a book, You Can't Hurt Me, right, by David Goggins, and he talks about how he wanted to be, you know, a Marine and all this stuff. He had to go through with he finished after he sustained the injury, had to go back. He went through the training, the Marines training with 2 broken legs, right? But his ultimate goal was to finish. And now we know he's a household name, right? David Goggins is, you know, motivational speaker, whatever. Long story short, if it's worth it, you have to count the course. If it's worth it at the end, and you really think, first of all, you're in the AFC, okay? Do you think he can beat Mahomes? Do you think he can beat Josh Allen? Do you think he can beat CJ Stroud? The answer is no. So why risk it? Can he? I don't even know if he could beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Once that team starts to flow. So my thing is you're up against it. If he was in the NFC, which there are more opportunities to at least get deep into the playoffs, then maybe. But even with that, it's not worth it. Unless you are almost a guarantee to get to the big game and say, hey, at least I got there. Whether you win or lose, you got there. But that's not Miami. So why risk it? At the end of the day, if you get hurt, right? God forbid he gets hurt, you got to know Tyreek Hill is going to roll out of there at some point. They're going to start selling the team off, selling the players. They're going to do a fire sale like they did with every other team, right? Once your season is shot, Tyreek is going to be looking for higher ground. He's going to get up out of there. There's going to be a plethora of teams that are looking for a player like Tyreek Hill, and it's going to be a memory. It's going to be a very, very sad story that someone didn't get out. They continue to play the violin on the Titanic, and I just don't want that for Tua.
Right.
Just my point.
Said, bro. Well said. Yeah, well said, bro.
All right, let's talk really quick about these 76ers. Embiid said he's only going to play 40 games a season. For the balance of his career. He said he's never playing a back-to-back, and they're going to win a championship with him only playing 41 games. What do you say, Scrap?
What do you say, Scrap?
I say
what do you say, Scrap?
Whatever
do you say, Scrap?
Whatever keeps him healthy for the playoffs. Whatever keeps him healthy. I don't care if he played 10 games a season. Whatever keeps him healthy for the playoffs, I'm with it. Because I done seen him win an MVP. I done seen him try to tough it out and play in back-to-backs and almost got his leg detached from his body last year, which caused us to lose to the Knicks, who we would have never lost to if he was healthy, right? So, yeah, if he don't play back-to-backs, oh, well, don't play back-to-backs. Just make sure when playoffs roll around, you are 100% or at least 90, 95, because even at 95, he's still better than half the league. Well, majority of the league. So, yeah, I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with, right, is in this day and age, we use words that, becomes diluted and they start to lose their luster. Last night or the other night, Rod referred to the Lakers rookie that had 35 points as a beast. Now, this word is starting to be the new GOAT. Like, we're just throwing it around and it's losing this luster. Now, when I think of beast, I think of what?
He is not a beast. He is.
No, he's not a beast. I did take that word out of context, but go ahead, Scott. Finish your point on that. I agree.
I think of KG. That's a beast. I think of Charles Barkley. That's a beast. I think of Shaq. That's a beast. This guy is not a beast. He came out being regarded as a shooter, and he showed you that he can shoot. Being a shooter does not make you a beast. We gotta stop just throwing these words around. And I know
it's a little different than Donald saying KD is great. So I get your point. You make a good point, but go ahead, finish.
So are you comparing? No,
I'm talking about taking the words out of context to Scrap's point.
What's the dude's name? Cutchin?
Connect.
His name is supposed to be West Coast Connect.
Yeah, he can connect. He can connect from three. He can connect from three. But
he can shoot. That boy can shoot.
When Rod said this guy's a beast, I said, "Oh my God!"
I mean, you knew what I meant, though, Scrap.
No, we didn't. We didn't
know. I don't know what you said.
We don't know what you meant,
probably
Rod.
really believe that this guy is a beast. Beast, we got to stop just throwing these words around because they lose all meaning when we just throw them around for any reason. Like we got to be more selective. You can say, "Hey, this guy's a good shooter. You know, he got potential to be something."
And he has to prove it in a game, though.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Yeah, that was.
Well, he did it in the preseason game. Like, I mean, I haven't seen not one preseason game for the Sixers. I just seen the stats to say Andre Drummond had 20 boards last night.
Yeah, me too. I haven't really watched.
Andre Drummond is a beast on the boards, but
he is.
Do you see me posting stats from Andre?
Shout out to Mount Vernon.
Yeah, and then just like, this guy's a beast. Like, no, I could care less about the preseason. Show me this in the regular season. Do this on a consistent.
Don't they have another guy that was supposed to be? He hit 3 shots and I'm him. Remember that? Don't they have another guy?
Reeves, Reeves is hurt though. He's been hurt a little bit, so he hasn't played.
Each year y'all just gonna rotate a new him. He's him.
A new him. You get a new
I was gonna say that's another word too that's thrown around. Him, like no. We gotta make these people earn their nicknames, earn their accolades.
I agree.
This is getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand.
Well, the whole Lakers organization is out of hand. Anytime you force a team not to draft your son, or out of respect, they feel like they can't draft your son, it's a travesty. Let me just tell you something.
He hates the
way Bronny, listen, and I have a son, right? And I would do anything and everything for my son. And I'm not in LeBron's position to pretty much force people or leverage my power to force people to do what I want them to do. But I have to say this. If Bronny was not LeBron James's son, he would be cut. I don't even think he would be in the G League.
He wouldn't have got drafted.
Well, we know that.
He needs to go to the G League anyway. That's where he really needs to go. That's what Magic was saying.
They're talking about,
they're talking about putting him in a rotation.
When you have the coach in your pocket, so think about this. We a lot of times talk about Aaron Rodgers, how he has things orchestrated around him. His friends, he's hooking up Nathaniel Hackett, and he's getting Cobb a check, and he's getting Alan Lazard a check, and he's getting Devontae a check. Well, let's think about what LeBron has done. LeBron has gotten his son drafted high enough, right? There's enough good players. LeBron's not a 55th pick on any draft, right? He's a G League player at best. And he really should be in overseas somewhere, learning a new language. But in any case, he's in a Laker uniform. So now that he's playing on the Lakers, you have the coach. You got rid of a coach who was winning, right? That had a somewhat, but you had to let that develop, but he wasn't in your pocket like that, right? So what do? You start a podcast with your future coach. That's a red flag for, a conflict of interest if I've ever heard it. So now you got your young, he's going to be the new Pat Riley. You got your son on the team. As a Laker fan, right? Mm-hmm. Do you expect any success from the Lakers based on this pretty much rigged kind of system of setting up a team and the coach?
Actually, I still do. And here's why. Because I don't think Bronny being on the team or even JJ Redick as the coach still takes away from what the Lakers potentially have. I mean, are they better than Denver? No. Will they be better than Minnesota?
OKC.
OKC, no.
OKC. We had some success against OKC last year, but OKC is a budding team.
Better is the question.
But are we better? I don't think
constructed now.
They're younger, they're fresher, they are, but I don't know. I don't know how
to
handle themselves in a 7-game series against the Lakers.
Man. They got Hartenstein over there now.
Yeah, they got. Yeah.
He's out. He's going to be out for 6 weeks. He broke it.
Oh, is he? Okay. All right. I mean, but to answer your question, D, no, I do expect the Lakers to go deep in the playoffs. At least I do. I expect them to have some success. Will they win a chip? No. But signing Bronny was about just LeBron being on the court with his son, right? He's not going to get any real meaningful minutes. Honestly, when it all starts and the rubber meets the road, this is all good for just allure and something to talk about and to see Bronny play. What does it do? Because you got to remember, The Bus family is a mom and pop organization, right? That's how they make their bread, only off the Lakers. They don't have other interests, and they're not like Mickey Arison who owns Carnival and all these other owners that got other businesses where they make money. The Bus family live and die on ticket sales and what the Lakers do. So that's drawing money to them. They get the benefit from that. But when the rubber meets the road, Bronny ain't playing in the fourth quarter. All right. He may go a lot of games without even playing, right? When the rubber meets the road. So he's not impacting anything. I do think it's sad that we got to waste a spot, though. I think it'd be good to have a spot.
Well, that's my point.
I agree with you on that point, but I don't think that spot
was
he's
more,
so far down.
Deserving players of that spot.
No, I totally agree with that. But I think if you look at his spot, right, he's taking a spot from a guy who's going to be at way on the end of the bench, right? So you got to factor in the percentages.
But
that guy would have been,
play.
Huh?
I said where he should be, but he's actually going to play.
But Rod, do you care if they lose in conference or out of conference games or what?
As long as we
Oh, okay. As long as we win, got it.
No,
you know what though?
No, we got to win our conference though. Conference is more important.
I see so many comparisons with LeBron and Jordan, and it's just another comparison. They say, well, Jordan's kids never played in the league. Do you actually think if Jordan went to Jerry Krause or whatever and said, yo, draft my son or I'm leaving, you think he wouldn't have drafted Marcus or whichever one who actually had better college stats than Bronny? Like, that's because Jordan said, listen, I'm not going to force my kids on y'all just for my own personal.
And out of pride.
Krause would have done it anyway because Krause didn't care. He didn't take a nickel from him, Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson. He didn't care.
Yeah,
and
Krause
that man deserves probably the bulk of the reason for their success. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
I think Krause, but this is the other thing. I think Michael Jordan wouldn't subject us to subpar. Like there has to be some pride somewhere. Like this is the Jordan name. And if I don't think you're on par with professional players, I'm not going to put you out there just for the sake of me pounding on my chest or an extension of, oh, this is my lineage has made it. I played for 27 years and now my grandson is in the league. Knock it off.
Absolutely.
And so I don't think Jordan would have subjected us to that.
No, Jordan
this is a LeBron ego move. This is it's about his ego. It's not about even about Bronny. It's not about Savannah. It's not about Zuri. It's not about the other kid.
Bryce.
It ain't about Bryce, who's better.
Has a chance.
Yeah. It's not about any of them.
From what I understand.
So
I mean, look,
it's not about Adele. It's not about
Rich Paul. It's not about
Rich Paul. It's not about
about the shop.
It's not about Shannon Sharp. It's not about any of them. It ain't about Skip. It ain't about none of them.
Yep.
It's really about LeBron's ego. That's what it boils down to.
You're right, Donald. You're right. But listen,
we know you're great. You don't have to force your kids on us. You know your son don't belong in the league. Cut it out.
He does not.
He don't. Now he's going to have some game like last. You know what's crazy?
17 points he had. Yeah, impressive.
No, but if you go on X, no. If you go on X, this is what they're saying about Bronny's game last night. Where is it? I just seen it. They said he had 35 points, but if you look at it, he had 35 minutes. Like it's just like, why are you doing it? Why are you doing this to this kid? Like, why are y'all forcing him on us like this? Yeah. Like that kid did not have no 35 points last night.
Now, I think he had 17. 17 points.
He had a legit 17. That's a good number.
But I don't think he was
7 of 17 from the field, so he didn't shoot well. 35 points. Oh yeah, no.
They got 35 points next to this kid's name. That might be his accumulative. If that's the whole preseason, he might have accumulated in college. Accumulated 35 points. They got this kid with 35 points, 8 boards, 5 steals, and a block last night.
Nah.
Like that's an NBA stat line. You see what I'm saying? Don't stop. Cut it out, man. These Bron. Oh my
Laker fans, Cowboy fans are one and the same.
As
we see.
Honestly, Laker fans don't.
This is LeBron's fans. His fans are like
Thank you, Scrap. That's what I was gonna say. Right.
His fans are worse than Trump supporters, yo. Like it's just the guy can do no wrong. He can tell you that the moon is made of cheese and you'll believe it. Like it's just, oh, yo, man, it gets so frustrating. I'm
It
like, bro,
is. It is. It is.
I'm
And
like,
I'm
bro,
not a
cut it
LeBron
out.
guy. I wasn't a LeBron guy until he got to the Lakers because
Right, you're
I'm
a Laker
Jersey.
fan.
Yeah, I'm
You're
a
a
Laker
Laker
fan.
fan.
So
Like
that's
me,
why I
I'm a
support
Sixer
LeBron.
fan. Don is a Net fan. Now, if
Right.
somebody comes into the Sixers, I'm going to support them until they leave. You see, but
Facts.
once you're going, like I don't as much as I was a Jordan fan when I was younger, I'm not making up no. Oh well, Marcus Jordan scored. You know, he averaged 15 in college, so he should be able to play on the Bulls with his dad. No, 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 no,
Exactly.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it don't work like that. It
No,
don't
I
work
agree.
like that.
I agree.
Now,
That's a good point.
if LeBron
He's
was a
absolutely right.
dispatcher and he wanted to get his son a job at, a railroad, that's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
That's
Nepotism
perfectly
is fine for
exactly.
in certain
Not when you're
instances,
a
right?
billionaire and
Yeah.
you're possibly blocking somebody who has probably nothing from becoming a millionaire or
Who's worked harder than your son to get there, who
exactly.
has so he is potentially, by putting his son in that position, he is potentially blocking him potentially the next LeBron. And what I mean by that is not the player, but the story, right? There's
Exactly.
the NBA, there might be a child that, single family, single parent household, pulled himself up by his bootstraps, played, dedicated himself, stayed out of trouble, played and worked his way up to be into the NBA or through college, got a scholarship, so on and so forth. But here you go, fast tracking your son who does not deserve it, fast track him not on a bottom feeder team, on a premier team,
Exactly.
on the Lakers. And you're going to, there was a team, I think, maybe the Celtics that were thinking about drafting him out of respect for LeBron, or maybe it was the Warriors.
The Warriors.
Out of respect for LeBron, we didn't draft Bronny.
If I was one of them bottom feeder teams, I would. Oh, LeBron.
Oh, well, listen. That's a whole nother show. When LeBron said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," listen, that's a whole nother. That will go. I think that as far as this is concerned, James, we're gonna let time tell, right?
Right.
What's done in the dark will always come to the light, right? So we think that we're going to give the process due diligence. Of course, everything will be public information at some point. So we're going to hold off. But we did see that video of LeBron, at or referencing a party with Puffy. It's on every social media platform. But of course, I mean, think about it. What's the guy that Fanatics? He has a big party. Michael Rubin. It's questionable stuff there. So I think, we joke about Cat Williams saying in 2024 there's going to be a big unveiling of a lot of stuff, but it's true, right? And I mean, the Bible even speaks to that, right? That, these things that are happening that, we're not made aware of is always going to ultimately come to the light, right? And things are going to be, found out. So we're going to give it the due process and let that happen. But once it gets to that, if there are sports players and, we do talk sports and the culture and all kind of stuff, but I mean, the hour is far spent, but maybe we'll address this on the next show. This is a good topic.
But
to happen.
Going back to this Bronny thing, like if I was a bottom feeder team, you know what I would have did? I would have drafted him. I would have said, nope, give me him. And Lakers, if y'all want him, you got to give me something for him. That was a smart thing to do.
That would have been a real smart thing to do.
Exactly. It would have been the thing to do. Leverage the fact that you want to play with your son so bad as a bargaining chip. So if we have a pick before 55, you give us. We'll give you the 55th pick. You give us your pick, exchange picks, and maybe a later pick. So get 2 for 1.
That dude would have traded AD, Reeves, Hachimura. He would have traded all of them to get his son to play.
If y'all don't want
that,
you can have Jeannie Buss. You get anybody. I just want to play with my son. Anybody.
Play with my son.
Well, you're a free agent. Come sign here and play with your son.
Right.
Come sign.
And you know what? He probably would have
Vancouver
done that.
and play
He
with
would have
your
done
son.
that. He would have done that. I think he
Exactly.
would have. He did allude
Exactly.
to that. He did allude to
There
that.
ain't no out of respect for nobody, man. This is a
No.
cutthroat business. I want to win just as bad as you do. And if you want your son, he's right here. He's all yours. I want you to
Right.
have him. I
Hey,
want you to play
My
with your son. But
Orlando
That's
Magic should have done
That's
it.
good.
If it was Golden State,
That's
they
gonna
was
be a
small,
good team
and
too,
you
man.
could have orchestrated it and said, "Hey, LeBron is not trying to go to Golden State so much to play with Steph Curry, but he wants to play with his son." It would have given him an out to go to Golden State.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
LeBron wants the easiest path.
Yeah.
As quiet as it's kept. Rod says KD does, but LeBron likes an easy path too, right? Not 4, 5, not 6. We're not going to go into that because we're up at
because we'll be here till 6. Because I'm gonna go in.
It's a nice long one, man. You can
I
tell
see
we
the
missed each
steam.
other, man.
I see
We
the
missed
steam
each
coming
other.
out your ears. So
That's it.
I know
That's
when to
it.
end it. But the not 4, not 5, not 6 lets you know that he had a stacked team that he thought could
Was
win.
gonna run
Not
them
4,
up.
not 5,
Yeah.
not 6.
He thought he was gonna make a dynasty.
Yeah. And what happened?
They
You
won
know?
2.
They did win 2. They went to 4 straight. They only won 2. It just
Disappointment. Is 50% good? Is 50% what is that an F?
50% of anything in the league, that's good.
That's F. That's an F, right? It's
That's
only
a
good
F.
in baseball. It's only good in baseball.
Yeah, only
Everything
good in
else, it's an F. Baseball, if you hit 50%, you're great. You're a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
But basketball,
if a player shoots 50% from the field, is that not good? Or
in basketball, I guess it depends how many shots you take.
We talking about win-loss. If you're
we talking about win and
team,
losses.
Depending on what conference you in, you're not a playoff team with a 500 record.
Yeah, unless you're the Steelers.
Well, now they
want to keep a record
and all that. Now they did the play-in and all that, so you can squeak in 500 or lower. But before, you wasn't a playoff team with no 500 record.
Yeah,
like
there's actually been a couple of teams I recall that made it to the playoffs with losing records.
Yeah, because they got that play-in now, that madness. Yeah, so
yeah.
Even in the NFL, there was I think
not Dallas. Dallas did not.
No, not Dallas. I think Seattle. I think Seattle got in with a losing record.
Like 7-9.
Yeah, we'll get y'all too that year in the playoffs. If that's the same year.
No, I don't. Listen, we're not talking about that year. Whatever that year is.
So what about the Niners? They've been 0-3 the last Super Bowl appearances there. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Eagles are 1-3. So 1-3.
What are the Cowboys in your Super Bowl appearances in the last 20 years? The last 20 years, what do you?
Hey, the standard is high. You shouldn't be happy to just get somewhere and not win.
No, he didn't answer the question.
We haven't been here since 1995.
Jerry,
but we did win a Super Bowl more recently.
Jerry Jonesism. Jerry Jonesism.
You're not supposed to ask that kind of question.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll get another host.
I'll find another host.
I'll get another host
that will ask you those. Today. Didn't you say that last time they made me mad? Like, I ain't got time to jack with y'all today.
Right. You don't ask me that. You don't ask me the last time we won the Super Bowl. I'll find somebody, another San Francisco 40. I'll get Briggs on the show. I'll get Briggs. Right. I'll get Briggs on the show. He'll do the show. You don't ask me about this. You don't ask me who wins the last time we made it.
Last time we won a Super Bowl since the last time we've been there. How dare you?
Right. How dare you?
Crazy.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, great show, fellas. Thanks everyone for joining us. Everyone that had comments, everything that hopefully we addressed. And we have some future shows to discuss. But this is going to be a very pivotal week, even though Rod downplayed it. It's going to be a big week. We're going to see. And then next week is going to be really exciting. We play the Cowboys. They're fresh off of a bye. So we'll see what happens. That should be a good game as well.
That's a good show.
It's going to be a good show also.
Oh, that's a good show.
Please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, our X or TikTok. Not TikTok, excuse me, X or please. No. Absolutely. Continue to comment. We appreciate everyone that joined us. Yes. Right. Don't get the eyes in the chat. Right. James, we appreciate it. Man, listen. Glad that you're back, James. Glad that you're back.
Across the waters, man.
From across the water.
Our UK affiliate.
We appreciate you, man. Oh, man. Thanks. Great show. Rod, Scrap, man. You knocked it out
good
the
to see
park,
y'all
man.
again, man.
It was good to do a show again.
It was.
Everyone, until next time, peace.